Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. As you always know, the cryptocurrency news market space is always quite ridiculous. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says billionaire Mike Novogratz predicts substantially higher Bitcoin and crypto prices amid banking woes. Here's his timeline. 3 months. That's his timeline, for those of you who are wondering. He believes that if the current banking crisis continues, we are going to see governments pumping more money into the financial sector and to banks that are failing. Into the idea that, I think it was a couple of days ago, we heard people urging governments and the FDIC within the United States of America to provide extra funding to banks and to back everyone's money inside of certain banks to give more consumer confidence. When that happened 2.5 weeks ago, where we heard for a fact that there would be more funding for smaller banks, that's when that day when Bitcoin actually popped up by 18%. You might remember that. I woke up and I had to reload the screen because I thought something was completely wrong. He thinks that if this continues happening, we are going to continue seeing higher and higher cryptocurrency prices. It just makes a lot of sense. A lot of the news you're going to see today is just pure logic. And I mean, oh my gosh, wait, what's that fiery thing coming up over the horizon? Oh, it's the sun. Yeah, of course it was going to do that 24 hours later, that kind of level of like obviousness. Bitcoin surges towards $30,000 as market momentum builds. Yep, and not our market momentum, it's the stock market momentum. Apparently, remember at the beginning of the week, I told you it was going to be a very difficult week. We had a lot of information that was going to be rolling out. The last 3 days of information have not been as terrible as people assumed that they were going to be. And therefore, the stock market has been going up. There's like a renewed bit of interest going on. We have some world leaders who've been announcing, and also U.S. politicians, that the banking crisis, while absolutely terrible, is nearly over. It won't be that bad. And therefore, this is bringing confidence back into the markets that the banking stocks will go back up. More confidence in the market will continue. People will continue pushing money back into the stock market. And therefore, the cryptocurrency market will also be moving up as well. It says XRP exudes confidence before SEC verdict as March gains cross, ... I'm not sure what the rest of the dots are supposed to be. So for those of you who have missed it, over the last year, I'll definitely say a year, for some reason, we were told that this would be the year of the SEC Ripple lawsuit coming to an end. At the end of last year, we were told January. Around December, we were told quarter one of this year. Quarter one ends tomorrow, and still no verdict on this. However, the excitement from people in the crypto in general, this is not just an XRP community thing, as people like to call them. This is everyone. Gaining huge amounts of excitement. You might remember a couple of days ago, XRP's price, it was up by like 12%, while every other coin was lightly in the red. This is leading people to, now here we go. This is leading people to believe that someone in the background, potentially an insider, might have information as to what's going on, and therefore, if the price rose, that person and or persons might have accumulated XRP in anticipation of a verdict that they know is going to happen. Is any of that true? Not a gosh darn person knows. As it stands for all of us, we are still waiting for the verdict. However, XRP's price continues to move up more and more every single day, based off of the idea that we would be getting information relatively soon about what's going to be happening with the lawsuit. This one says Bitcoin's price briefly hits $29,000. Despite recent Binance crackdown, we're going to go over the Binance stuff in a little bit. It is as stupid and ridiculous as you might believe it to be. Yeah, Bitcoin's price has been rising because stock futures have been rising around the world. So, it's just the normal. Usually in the morning, early morning, Bitcoin's price tends to go up by around 1, 2, or 3%, which is roughly where stock futures currently are, and therefore it's just mimicking the price of the stock market. In obvious news, world's largest asset manager BlackRock predicts that there will be no Fed rate cuts this year. If you've been looking at any news, and I mean even here, you don't have to go to a traditional financial website and or TV show. The Fed is not going to be cutting interest rates this year. They will probably be freezing them. I'm not sure if you've been keeping track of the nonsense that's been going on CNBC, ABC, 1, 2, 3, and all the other letters. There are a lot of people who are openly announcing that they think that the head of the Fed needs to leave like now. And I was quite shocked because normally you'll hear them being quite political in their speech. I think what's been going on has been a bit of trouble, but I think we will get through it. No, they're naming him. They're he should not have been there. I called this out 5 years ago. This is going to continue to get worse. He is going to run us into a recession. And I was like, whoa, yeah. So, no, I don't know why they do things like this or announce these kinds of things. They know that there's going to be no rate cut. If there's a rate cut, we risk having inflation continuing going up even more than where it currently is. And therefore, that's just not going to be a thing. At the moment, it says stock futures are higher as investors come off of a winning day. Yeah, like I said, the last couple of days, everyone was quite jittery. The bad stuff at the moment did not take place, and therefore the futures are up. It says, Amazon went up by 3%, Netflix and Meta went up by 2%. Some of the other banks are also rising by 1%, confidence, yada, yada, yada. Where's the really important part? On Thursday, yeah. On Thursday, investors will be watching for economic data on weekly jobless claims and the GDP. Yes, we are going to see if the U.S. GDP has risen despite everything that's been going on. Have people marred under inflation and not being able to pay their rent been going out to Walmart and buying more stuff that they didn't need? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. That's basically what we're waiting for today. We're trying to see have more people been filing jobless claims, or has that number gone down? And it's not even that people found jobs. For those of you who don't know, the way that and it's terrible. The way that the metric works for jobless claims within the United States, you would assume that if someone is filing a jobless claim, they are jobless. Surprise. And if they stop filing a claim, it is because they have found a job. I know someone's like, yeah, because you would logically think that. No, the way that the U.S. measures joblessness is that after a certain amount of time, you can no longer file for jobless claims. That is to say, benefits, welfare, depending on where you live. That's kind of the idea. At a certain point, you get cut off. You cannot claim this anymore. And at the end of that claim, your jobless claim disappears, and therefore you are no longer a part of the system for the jobless claims, and they just assume that you found a job. I know, it's more ridiculous than you can actually believe. Boston Federal Reserve President Susan Collins, Richmond Fed President Barkin, and all blah, 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 are all slated to speak in the afternoon. So that's where the nonsense is going to come in. If the jobless claims, air quotes, have gone down, and we get any inkling that the U.S. GDP has actually gone up despite the poop storm that we've been living through for the last year and a half, expect markets to also go up as well. It is just logical. Yeah, that's all the price news that we have right now. Stock futures are up. Cryptocurrency market is lightly up. When you look at the charts, it looks like an actual battle is going on. Like people are actually playing tug of war. It looks ridiculous. There was a huge spike in the middle of the night. Prices went up dramatically and then slammed back down and are currently going back up. And a lot of coins are in red and some are in green, and Bitcoin's trying its darndest to drag everyone else up the mountain. But that's just kind of where we are. That's all the price news. And yeah, Let's move on. So the rest of the news is just nonsense. I will tell you that right now. I'm not sure what's happening in the world that the news keeps getting weirder and more ridiculouser, but that's just where we are. For those of you who don't know, apparently they were, now they're not. The UK government has confirmed they will not be proceeding with a plan to launch an NFT. Why was this going to happen? British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak asked the Royal Mint to create an NFT for Britain while he was serving as the Chancellor of the Exchequer last year, as part of his efforts to make the UK a global hub for crypto asset technology and investment. You don't get people to invest in your country by creating an NFT. You do it by lowering taxes. You do it by making sure that the companies have an office, I don't know, or that they won't, just something more logical. Did you really think that people were going to, I think I want to move to the UK. Why? What's going on? They just made an NFT. Wait, they made their own NFT? Yeah, and I kind of want to have one. I mean, it would make me feel really special walking through London knowing I have that NFT in my wallet. Like what was the... So anyway, they came out and said, no, at the moment they won't be doing this, but they'll keep the proposal under review. I don't know. Do they know how money works? Have they forgotten how you get companies to go to your borders? This was a fairly popular news. This was not the most popular, but it was definitely up there. People were talking about this as if this actually mattered in the world in any kind of way, and it does not. So I would encourage, that's the word I was looking for, encourage them to simply give clear regulations for crypto, do the opposite of what the US is currently doing with no regulations, because Britain is doing the exact same thing and it's not working out for them. As a number of other countries relatively closer to them have very low taxes for crypto. So anyway, whoa, that's nuts. I mean, I hope to get one of those one day so I can show my kids, yeah, daddy has a British NFT and he's really cool. Like, what were they? Anyway, that's the UK is dropping their NFT plans news. Told you the news was going to get ridiculous. Also in the news, so for those of you who've missed it, people don't like Binance anymore. Why don't they like Binance? I'll tell you why, because it's run by someone from China. Over the last couple of months, it has become abundantly clear, at least to me. I'm not sure if everyone is on the same page as me. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to flip so we can all get on the same chapter. A lot of institutions are now trying to enter the cryptocurrency space. After years of them lying to us that they were not in crypto, they're now actually trying to get into it in some sort of way. The way that Binance made their entrance into the cryptocurrency space was relatively seamless. Back in 2017, there was no idea of regulatory anything that was really there. They appeared. 2018, 2019, a lot of countries, you might remember this, had problems with Binance. They don't have paperwork. Where you don't have my 5 sheets of paper. And Binance opened a Binance branch in nearly every single country and got the 5 pages of paperwork. I'm not joking. Like, this all happened. And then every single country, started loving them all over again. The last 4 or 5 days, the CFTC announced that they believe or allege that Binance was allowing people inside of the United States to have access to their platform despite regulators telling them not to do so. And this is when Binance created a Binance US as a way for people within the US to have access to Binance. Why they needed a whole separate website, I don't know, because the US is ridiculous. On top of that, the idea is that they were like people who were using VPNs to access the normal Binance. Binance should have known about it and therefore gotten those people in trouble, but they didn't. So from what I'm reading right now, the news that I am currently getting, it says Binance froze $2 million from an address associated with insider trading amid heightened regulatory scrutiny. So from what I read is that someone on Twitter has accused Binance of this is what I'm getting, has accused Binance of insider trading from a specific account, and therefore Binance froze the money just in case regulators want to look at it. And then people are like, wait, Binance froze the money. That must mean something terrible. No, you idiots. They freeze the money so that they don't get in trouble later, so that regulators can explicitly look at the money. It's not that Binance is a centralized company, because they are, but they're doing it because they don't want to possibly get in further trouble. That's why they freeze money that's on their account. Like, remember before, like 2 years ago, when they were freezing funds on Binance Chain, and people were like, you can't do that. And it's like, no, they told us that Binance Chain is centralized because they control all the transactions, and that's what's currently going on. So yeah, Binance froze a whole bunch of Bitcoin on a so-and-so. It says Binance freezes over $2 million in alleged insider trading scandal. No, there's no real scandal going on. A lot of people who are writing these articles, a lot of people who are spreading this news are probably part of the people who are trying to get control over the market. Once again, didn't it seem a little weird where Binance, Kraken, Gemini, and fourth one all got in trouble at the exact same time over the course of the exact month, with weird allegations seemingly popping out of nowhere? A lot of these allegations, for those of you who don't know, are even stemming as far back as 2018, 2019, that these companies allegedly did something illegal or wrong or unregistered security, whatever. And as you know, maybe my phone is a little bit slow, but I'm pretty sure it's not 2019, 18, 17, 20, 21, or 22 anymore. So I find it weird that regulators are now coming out of the woodwork saying that they've done something illegal. Not to say that they haven't, but you know, the timing is a little suspicious when you talk about Fidelity and Grayscale. No, Fidelity, BlackRock. I was like, it's gray or black. Fidelity, BlackRock, and the NASDAQ are all looking to launch their own cryptocurrency exchanges. So, you know, timing and all that stuff. Also in the news, the SEC has sued another company. I don't know how to pronounce this. Beaxy. BEAXY, Bazozi. It says for operating an unregistered securities platform. I think they allege that here we go. They ran an illegal, allegedly, securities exchange, broker, and clearing agency, and the SEC is saying that they didn't register with them. I'm pretty sure because they couldn't. There's also some SEC news in here. The SEC keeps saying that they've done stuff or that they're trying to help people, but we know that they're not. I'm not sure how you could openly be so evil. Like I haven't figured it out, and if I ever do figure it out, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to take over the world like every other sociopath. Because from my corner, you know, going over the news every single gosh darn day. I just recently saw, you know what's crazy? I went onto my YouTube metrics things. You know, I've made over 2,500 videos on this channel. Can you believe it? 2,500. It's insane. It's absolutely nuts. And I'm certain over the course of the last 2,400, we've had no indications that the SEC has released any form of cryptocurrency regulations within the country. Not even stating what other coins are not securities. That goes a long way. But anyway, so BZ is now in trouble for apparently doing something. I assume that they've been doing this for the last couple of years, and now the SEC is angry at them. Who knows? Everything seems a little bit weird. There's corruption like leaking out of the sides of that office building. Also in the news, it says as Hong Kong is again opening up to the crypto market, local investors are launching a $100 million fund to finance the digital industry. The new fund, called Pro Digital Future, that's spot on, will aim at early stage Web3 companies oriented at the regional market. For those of you who missed it, apparently out of nowhere, like 8 weeks ago, Hong Kong announced that they want to be the largest cryptocurrency hub on the planet. How do they plan on doing that? Well, basically by announcing that they wanted people to come to their country and open up cryptocurrency businesses. They would have tax breaks and cuts, and they'd be embracing all the latest and greatest things within the cryptocurrency space. And now there's plans for a $100 million fund. Anybody surprised? No, you shouldn't be. This is what always happens in every single country. There are tons of funds like this. I'm still waiting to see exactly how open-armed they're going to be with all the recent news that's been going on. But a lot of people are pretty hyped about it. If you ever get a chance, look at the housing and real estate crisis in Hong Kong. I was watching a documentary. It is completely out of this world. And I mean, as far as like, you have studio apartments that are like 23 meters squared, like around 240 square feet, roughly around there, for like $1 million. It's just, complete dystopia. But, that's where all the money's being made. That's the Hong Kong fun news. This was also quite popular. And the popularly unpopular news that was actually everywhere. Gary Gensler is now asking for billions, BILLIONS, more money from somewhere, so that the SEC not only becomes stronger, but because he says this is the only way that they'll be able to handle cryptocurrency misconduct. He has stated that the SEC has already given proper regulatory clarity and that no one is paying attention to what he said. Can you imagine asking your teacher, what do we have to do for homework? And they're like, I told you 9 days ago. Well, that's great. You're a terrible teacher. Can you please repeat what everyone in the class has missed? Yes, he is asking for billions of dollars to help the SEC grow stronger so that they can curb or stop or decimate at this point everything within the cryptocurrency space to make room for their friends Fidelity, BlackRock, and the NASDAQ. Not really much more to read inside here. None of you should be shocked at any point of anything that I'm saying. It seems very Gary Gensler-y. I think his term is over this December. I like at the end of the year. I don't like to rush time, but I do wish it was January 1st already, because this is, it's completely out of control. And once again, it's gotten to the point where when people going on TV talk negatively about you, and also, for those of you who've missed it, people within the SEC are even going on TV talking bad about him. Like, just retire, dude. Like, nobody wants you there. You're just a... Anyway, that's the Gary Gensler is asking for billions of dollars. Can you imagine the audacity? The literal audacity. You launch a lawsuit against 14 companies every single week, many of them having to pay you $10, $15, $20 million, and you're asking for billions? Also in the news, in what I like to call grown men still being obsessed with a grown man news, Sam Bankman-Fried has not left the news. He's been in the news every single day. It's just simply that, why would I cover it? Because, it's nonsensical. However, this one made the rounds. This one, got everyone really riled up. For those of you who don't know, the allegation is that Sam Bankman-Fried has money. What? Yeah, I know, crazy, right? So from what I have gathered online, allegedly, he gave money to his father years ago from a loan or some kind of money. He gave the money to his father. As it appears that Sam Bankman-Fried has very little access to cash or whatever is currently going on, apparently his father gave him back that money. And now he's been using that money to pay his legal fees. Everybody with me? You got to pay your legal fees or else you get in more legal trouble. But people are upset that he has access to money because in November, he stated that he only had $100K left in his bank account. So people are like, where'd you get that money from? He's like, I got it from my dad, who gave me 10 million back that I gave him. And they're like, wait, you're not supposed to have money. You said you had no money in November. He's like, yeah, then I got money from my dad, which you gave back to him. They wait, but you said you had, and it's this really weird loop of everyone going on. For those of you who missed it, the other really popular Sam Bankman-Fried news that everyone's been obsessed with is that I think he was watching Rihanna, I'm not joking, during the Super Bowl, and people found out that he had a TV at home and they decided to take it away from him. I think they also found out that he had a smartphone because it's the year 2023, and they decided to take it away from him, and they gave him like one of those brick phones. What else was there? Oh yeah, people found out that he had access to the internet because it's the year 2023, And I think they restricted his internet access to like very few websites or something. I'm not really getting it. I'll say this in the nicest way possible. You know that there are actual other criminals out there who are doing like 95 billion% more worse than Sam Bankman-Fried currently ever did, and they have access to all these other terrible things? Is anyone with me? No, at all? I heard someone say no. Okay, so you just like other criminals more than you like Sam Bankman-Fried. Yeah, that's the Sam Bankman-Fried news. He's paying for his legal fees with money that he gave his dad, and his dad gave it back, and now people are upset with that. That's the worst thing that's ever happened to the world in the last, 3 months. So that's that's also something. Also, and a lot of people cared about this, and I'm not really sure why. Everyone has to get it together. Apparently, Matt Damon came forward and announced why he appeared in a cryptocurrency ad. I think it was last year. No, it was 2 years ago. Time flies. So apparently, he received so much backlash and is still receiving backlash for it. And I assume it's from people who don't have a life or have nothing better to do. Can you listen? There are 24 hours in a day. You sleep roughly 7 to 8 hours of it. Can you imagine the other 16 hours of your life you spend time going on Twitter to find Matt Damon's Twitter page and say something bad to him? Can you imagine wasting time in your life doing that? Well, guess what? A lot of other people apparently did. So he said he received so many backlash from people that he decided to announce the only reason why he did it is allegedly, because the website Crypto donated $1 million to his charity. And everyone's like, oh, so he did it for a good cause. Whether he did it for a good cause or not, who cares? Imagine if somebody was like, hey, I'll give you $1 million to talk about why you love your altcoin. Would you like people harassing you? Probably not. I would just logically assume no. It's like, what was it? Ashton Kutcher, what's the girl with the red hair? Lindsay Lohan and like 3 other celebrities years ago were also promoting cryptocurrencies, and people were making fun of them. And it's like, they made more than you in 15 seconds of that ad than you will probably make in the next 10 years of your life. So who made out better? This guy didn't even need the $1 million because he gave it to a charity. Imagine being that rich that you don't even pocket the $1 million yourself. You give it to someone else. Anyway, this was also quite popular news. I'm not sure why. I told you the news was going to be absolutely ridiculous. A lot of it just doesn't make any sense, and I'm not really understanding how we got here as a community. Yeah. Also in the news, see that they're going to keep on rolling. It says Binance hid ties with China even after the crackdown in 2017. So, and I'm going to tell you this in the most straightforward way possible. This is how I know that people don't read and that people don't actually keep up with anything that's happening in the world except for what's happening in their country. Remember back in 2017 when the cryptocurrency market was going completely insane, and then China was like, we're going to ban crypto and we're going to so and so and so. If you not even read between the lines, if you listened between the ears as you were listening to this channel, China cracked down on smaller players who basically did not bend the knee to the country when it came to cryptocurrency trading and owning. It is still legal. Yeah, I know. I'm going to shock the living heck out of a lot of people who did not read or listen to this channel. It is still legal to own crypto in China. What? Yeah, I know. Imagine. Yeah. The way that you do it is you have to go through rigorous anti-money laundering and KYC protocols, and you have to do it at specific places where you are able to legally acquire that cryptocurrency. And I assume they take all of your biometrics, all of them. And then you are legally able to own it. What is illegal is cryptocurrency trading. They do not want you, so they say, to speculate on another currency when you should be speculating on their own, as the Chinese yen is the only currency technically within the country. So you can own it. You simply can't trade it. If you see that the price has gone up, you have to go back to the same office where you went to, and then you sell it. There's no rapid trading of anything that's going on. Surprise, right? Yeah, not really if you were paying attention. Also, as part of that, they said that Binance has been hiding their ties with China. Now, A, nothing was ever hidden, and B, I assume if any hiding was going on, it's because people have been talking negatively about Binance and Changpeng Zhao since 2017 because I was going to try and do a drum beat because he's Chinese. And don't sit there and pretend like you don't remember. What? Nobody would ever do that. My hands are currently on my hips. I'm looking down at you people who are lying. That's the reason why any of this is going on. Is because people like to assume that anything from China is the worst, terrible thing in the entire world. So the news is, once again, this was very popular news, is that apparently evil Changpeng Zhao with the demon horns was lying to people, and China was working with Binance and Binance with China this whole time. We know that other cryptocurrency companies have actively also been working with China. We've had news for years that allegedly the Tron Foundation also apparently has an office in China or has been working with Chinese officials. Am I missing something? If Changpeng Zhao had been American and had an American company in America, do you think he would not have been working with American officials? I'm not really understanding why this is supposed to be news. There's something very weird going on, and it has to do with a heavy-handed form of blatant corruption where people are launching all this news and you are meant to be terrified of it in some sort of way. There was a news article 2 days ago when all of this Binance news began to pop up and someone was like, I don't know, it looks like regulators might bring Binance down. With what? From what exactly? Please tell me, because it seems like all the negative news is coming exclusively from the United States, where they don't have proper cryptocurrency regulations. Even Bioxy just got in trouble. Do you know what that is? Exactly. Is getting in trouble because the larger players are ready to make their billions of dollars. But you can't do that when Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, and Gemini are making all the money as cryptocurrency exchanges within the space. So how do you get rid of them? You run gigantic smear campaigns for weeks and months and years saying that something terrible is going on. Anyway, yeah, what? Binance was hiding their ties with the country that they came from. Well, that's just egregious. I didn't even know that people could still hold cryptocurrencies in China because I've been lied to for the last couple of years. News. You can look it up. I'm telling you, you can still own it. There's just no trading. And when it comes, here's another one. When it comes to mining cryptocurrencies, it's also still legal in China. You just have to be officially registered with the Chinese government, and a lot of people allegedly before were not. There's still a huge fraction of Bitcoin's mining power is coming from China. Look it up. Everyone knows this, or rather you know this now. Yeah, that's the news. Let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon. See, that's the weird spike I was talking about. To my Patreon supporters, American Crypto Academy, Martin Stoyer, Bodie McBoatface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on. Empire Queen, Roman Geba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, The Dealers, Den Captain, Something in the Z-Way, Lay, Mobarazi, VB Nerd 21, Lauren De Silva, Quoted, Biddy, Troy, All Good, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Pat Ternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Nostroma, John Sarson, The Anima Rita, Bibliophobia, Adam, Grace, Wise 9, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Garner, Jemmy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monks, Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara, Macho Nisa, and on Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, or has subscribed. At the moment, Bitcoin is at 28,542. It is up by 0.19%. The markets look completely insane. No one has any idea what's going on. Bitcoin, for some reason, refuses to go past $30,000. Ethereum, for some reason, refuses to go past $1,805. I'm not joking. It won't go any farther than that. The world is a little insane. For those of you who missed it, we now have news that the Ethereum upgrade is officially happening on the 12th of April. That is the news that we currently have. The price refuses to move. XRP is down by 7. To be fair, it went up by like 25% in 3 days. You know, it's taking a little breather. Anything else crazy up or down? Aptos is down by 4. Sure. Arbitrum is up about, geez Louise, is up by 9.3%, 9.9%. Good for them. Have an amazing day. Algorand is up by 4. Stacks is down by 9%. Conflux Network is up by 7. All right. I do hope that you've all enjoyed this weird, insane video. I do hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be on this weird planet. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and/or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.